Greetings and welcome to the energy of Pisces. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. Please take only what you will. So the 12th house is open. The 12th house is essentially the house of the mystical, the unknown, the secret, as well the path of ultimate initiation to moksha, to transcendence. Okay. It's also an interesting thing wherein the romantic complexity, if not handled properly, in terms of projecting Godhead onto specific individuals, wherein we worship their feet, we touch the feet of the Guru, the lover becomes the Guru, and we initiate through the lover the mystical practice of love, of divine love especially. It's something that is possibly what Pisces ultimately craves, from what I've found. And if not on the right path, it can be quite detrimental in terms of projections, in terms of misunderstandings, misinterpretations, abstractions of really what we're here to do, which is ultimately a form of sacrifice through the guise of love, through the potentiality of love. And in that, there's the Christ consciousness. There's also the ability to truly humble oneself in such a way that you go through the fire, the ultimate fire for love. So the more evolved one gets in the path of the zodiac, especially in the path of Piscean evolution, we essentially get to the point where love becomes an act of compassion, okay? And that's the ultimate form, wherein judgment, it takes secondary importance. It takes the last importance. It goes out the window when it comes to the practice of this type of work, okay? This type of medicine. And it's interesting because the people you pull in to this life are also healers, okay? When it comes to the spiritual path, they're more gifted in a bookish way, or possibly in terms of technological knowledge about like the worldly realm and how the worldly realm can be manifestors for, can manifest essentially compounds of the higher order. So the healing arts run strong within the axis of the 12 and the 6, okay? And you'll pull in these people who naturally know quite a bit about your ailments, or they're trying to get to know more about what you're going through, okay? And Pisces is not an easy placement because it's significant of an older type of age wherein people were more accustomed to this notion of sacrifice. Now we live in a completely contemporary society wherein our own self-interests, they get in the way of the spiritual path. There's a lot of blocks that occur for Pisces, and it can be very difficult because essentially Pisces people know, they intuit to the highest degree our own insignificance in terms of the grander scheme of things. They can be much more associated with the divine realm or the mystical practice, which is not to be known. It's not to be understood. It's not a path for everyone. At the same time, they won't even understand themselves at times. That's where these people come in. These people that you draw in are here to ground you and give you a sense of what you really are, which is an expression of the divine, expression of the mystical. Anyway, that spiel set aside, today is, I don't know when you're going to watch this, but this is a prognostication for the month of March 2023. And this has to do with the energy of Pisces. We're going to go straight into the readings. The first one's karmic, and then the karma reading. So essentially actions that need to be performed in March. And then we're going to look at an incident of that karma, okay? And then we're going to go into the Great Mirror. So let's get started straight away. This month is going to be a month of experience, inspiration, drive, verve, the capacity to be lucky in that in which you're bringing forward into this reality is quite natural. Lots of power in this month. I like this reading a lot. A lot. You're going to have a choice to make. Ultimately, you've been gearing towards this choice. This choice is leading to more choices. This has to do with flexibility, really. I think the rhythm and the tempo at which you're moving for this month is going to be extremely auspicious. You have to keep it up. And there's something about the 3-8, the 11 strong, very, very, very strong in this reading. Meaning that what you're going to be doing is leading people, or perhaps leading yourself, into a state of self-realization, okay? This is nothing but auspicious. You could be traveling, you could be choosing to travel, you could be choosing places to travel. You could definitely be feeling on top form. Yeah, strange, because I usually get very negative readings for Pisces, at least on a karmic level. You're going to be a master of your thoughts. There's something about what you look at the past that has inspired you and got you to this point. Recently, there's going to be like an intense feeling that you are doing something. Now, I can't even focus on anything negative. I mean, the only thing that negative that I would see would be the 3, the ace and the ace, so that would be the 5. The only thing negative would be that you wouldn't be depending on so much others for this inspiration, for what you're doing. This is a solo path. This is a solo path and a path of different forks, different forks of lightning. There's a way for you to choose which path to go, and even then, there's going to be further choices that you will make that is very affirmative in nature. Thank God that was easy. Three and 8 strong here. In terms of an incident, wow, something is really intense here. We have 3 major arcana cards here. We have Death, we have the Devil, and we have the Tower. These are the absolute worst cards to have in the deck, I would say. Something really, really intensely transformative is occurring for you. This has to do with the situation of work. It could be a very intense relationship. But you are called to drone up some power that has been buried for some time. Like old gold or something that has been set in the ground. And this treasure essentially is going to push you forward karmically onto different paths, on new paths. This is a very humbling process, I think, that you're going through in terms of an incident. I do hear a death of a situation, of a relationship, for example. And from this, some sort of regeneration. When the death card meets the devil card, there's something about the severing of some sort of karmic cord. Okay, and this is a very good thing. It's kind of like a scrying, a reaping, in which it is inevitable, it is irreversible. Something is being cut here. This has to do with a relationship that could be extremely toxic, for example. It's being cut, and from this, the ray of light from Mars and the sun, essentially, it humbles you. It takes out a part of the way you've spoken, and now you're acting by truth, okay? And then therein the sort of the ripples occur, as well as the unfolding of lightning or the roots. They come and then they split, and then you find new fertility, new places to ground yourself. Very auspicious. What is this leading to? This is leading to the King of Cups. You're taking your cup, going elsewhere. The advice is essentially not to look back, but if you do, there's a way to understand the influence of all this through the auspices of Venus. Yes, big time. So when it comes to relationships, when it comes to fairness, diplomacy, trying to do the right thing, weighing up things, there's the ability to slowly do things, okay, and to slowly ground yourself. If you walk, for example, and you walk in a way that is more grounded, wherein you are slower, and you're more conscious of your step, there's an ability to honor your body and honor essentially anything that you've gone through in terms of trauma, and to regenerate in terms of that. There's a lot of regeneration in this reading, and that regeneration is going to be the key, the power for you to essentially make these choices in the month of March. Cool. So let's move on to the Great Mirror. The Great Mirror is a tool devised by the Order of the Twin Sun, 9-card spread that shows karmas between Pisces and a significant other. We'll go ahead and get started with that. So I think you are in a path of nearness, and you're very receptive. Not only that, you are being tempted, and the temptation is making you do something. The general underscore of this reading is the Tower in reverse. Okay, Tower did show up earlier. It's something that is in the future position of a karma. So you have to negotiate this karma. At the same time, the lightning bolt shows up in the Tower. Okay, and we were talking about lightning earlier. So there's a choice that is inevitable, and there's a way of speaking that needs to be spoken here. The thing is that, generally speaking, you are quite introverted. I mean, that is the natural Piscean way. It's one of the most introverted signs. It's the one with the least language, let's say, the least structural ism when it comes to language and its representation of conveying a message. We have the Moon in reverse. We have also the Death card. Death card is pointing to something, and it's pointing to this card. What is this card? This card is, well, in this deck it would be particularly the Magician. And with the Magician in the upright, this speaks about the idea of friendship. How often there's an obscurity about friendship, wherein some of their motivations, what they do, can be mischievous. In this mischief, there's something about what they do that needs to be understood as pointing to a truth. Pointing to a realization of our communal sort of humanity, our humanism, our flaws, okay? And this obscurity about the Magician, it brings to mind something, at least from what I'm seeing, something about the order of love. What makes love love? What makes love love? And from this, through the Magician, there's something about losing a friend or losing someone who is like something, but then is a friend, but then losing that idea, something like that. Trying to be pure with that. Because we have Nouvelle Connaissance here on your side, the Four of Cups in reverse, there's something about what you're doing in terms of this situation that has to do with not really doing much of anything at all. And then something comes out from the heavens, some form, some offer. Now you're going to take it. Okay. The interesting thing is that usually this has to do with the very nature of how we enjoy things. Okay. How you can abstain from that game of enjoyment, of desire. If you abstain from it, if you are an ascetic in terms of that, if you refrain from partaking in the desire, you can actually turn to a new page. Take that of what you will from that of what you will, any of that. With the moon in reverse, Gemini is also indicated. We have Aries here. Some sort of action in terms of friendship, of loyalty, not betraying that. Seeing the gateway of loyalty. Also the capacity to reveal something. I think you are here to impart something on this person that is going to reveal something. You're dealing with someone here that is the Empress in reverse, someone who's not fertile, not in their element when it comes to Venusian capacity. They can't really live up to the expectations of what they're called here to do in terms of a relationship, of a situation. There's something about them that wants to offer something to death. Good luck with that, pal. At the same time, there's something about them with the Five of Cups. Interesting. Okay, so they need to balance, man. They need to balance. There's something, oof. Yeah, I'm not saying that that you got someone who's trying to just steal your energy. You've got someone here who's definitely in need of balancing. They are out of balance. And perhaps you're here to show them how to turn a new page. They want to make communication, they want to offer something, but they can't. There's a deep, deep, deep-seated disharmony here that comes from the separation of a mother and father that influences them. Excuse me. There also is something here about still trying to be faithful to each other. The thing is that it feels unlucky. With the Ace of Rods, Two of Rods in reverse, that's a Three of Rods in reverse on the subconscious, conscious level, the transference of the subconscious to the conscious mind here is very difficult to raise up. It feels quite low. It's quite low. Let's see here. We have the Seven of Rods. Okay. Yeah, it might feel like this could be a burden for you. You're on a path of transformation, and I think it's trying to transform your very essence with how you relate to people, how you connect with people on a true level. But it's unlucky. It just feels like an unlucky connection. Not only that, it's impulsive by design, and there's something about what you're going through on a personal level that you could disclose to this person, but if you did, it would feel like you would be trying to protect yourself at the same time by disclosing. It's like you shouldn't have to be disclosing this information. You shouldn't have to be including them. But if they wanted inclusion, which I think they kind of do, it would be so that you can balance them out somehow. But I mean, can you really do that? What the root of this is essentially is trying to figure out how people are motivated to reach out to each other, and to question if that really works, especially through the sacrament of marriage, the idea of that, for example. Now, in terms of advice for this reading, take it real slow. Really, 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 really slow with this one. Really. That's the best I could do. Gee, I wonder if that resonated. Anyways, take it easy. Ciao.